Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome back to more of the Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story playthrough. We have officially finished the game. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching the playthrough, and I've enjoyed playing it for you guys. However, we're not done yet. We have a couple of things I wanted to showcase for you guys, and I have 3 extra videos worth of content that I'll be showing you guys this week. One of the videos, this video in particular, I'll be focused on 2 things that I want to showcase. Basically, getting the max rank with not just Mario and Luigi, but also with Bowser. And I'm also going to showcase the Cholesteroad minigames that you can play inside the challenge node. So that's what this video is going to be in dedication to. The other 2 videos will be dedicated to the same mode, and that will be dedicated to the Gauntlet. Which you can also play in the challenge node. The Gauntlet took a lot longer than I thought it would, so as a result, I had to break that into 2 separate videos. I wanted to do it all in one, but then you'd have basically like an hour video you'd have to watch, and I didn't want to put you guys through an hour worth of content in just one video, so I decided to split it up a little bit, and I found a good way to split it up as well, so it does actually kind of work in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I'll be showing the Gauntlet later on this week. Like I said, I'm going to be focusing on the other 2 things for this week. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and start talking about that. So let's go ahead and get going here. So the first thing I want to showcase is basically both Mario Brothers and Bowser getting into their best rank, or their max rank. And in this game, the max rank you actually achieve by reaching level 40. Now, this is not the max level. You can level up to level 99 if you actually want to do that. But for getting the max rank, which if you watched the credits video, the last video of the project, you may have noticed that thing at the end, which was like, oh, you need to get to the best rank that you can, or whatever, like after we finished like doing our talking and everything. That's basically what this is. They want you to reach the secret hidden ranks of this game, which for the Mario Bros, that is the rainbow rank, and for Bowser, it is the final boss rank. And like I said, you get both of these ranks at level 40, so if you want to get to the max rank of the game, you have to reach these. Now you're probably wondering, what are the benefits of getting these ranks? And, well, you do actually get a piece of equipment for getting these ranks. For Bowser, you get the Intruder Fangs, which I'll be showcasing shortly. And if you get both Bros to level 40, you actually get the Excellent Badge, or the Super Excellent Badge, as I like to call it. The Super Excellent Badge is just like the Excellent Badge, which is what we already wear right now. But the difference between this Excellent Badge versus the other one is you have to get Continuous Excellence. If you actually don't get an Excellent Strike, your meter will actually empty with that specific brother, and you have to keep going until you basically get both badges to meet up. It can be kind of tricky, but it's definitely well worth it if you can actually get your timing down perfectly. And as far as the Intruder Fangs basically give Bowser the option to use double actions, basically. Not exactly going to be helpful for us right now because, well, we've finished the game and there's actually nothing else for Bowser to do in this game. So, unfortunately, as much as I love Slim Bowser, he is going to be sidelined for these extra videos, but I did want to kind of showcase that because that was technically the last thing that Bowser could do in this playthrough that I hadn't done, basically getting up to his max rank, which was level 40. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to do with Bowser. We're going to be sticking with just the Mario Bros. Now, unfortunately, so sorry to all those Slim Bowser fans. I'm sure that Slim Bowser will be returning in a future Mario project for sure, just because I've been having a lot of fun doing the Slim Bowser impression for you guys. I'm glad you guys have been having a lot of fun with that as well. We're going to actually go back to the challenge node now here for the Mario Bros. As you can see, we are in the challenge node, and we can actually play some mini games here. The first thing we have is we have this, basically this block we can hit. And this is a fun little mini game where if you actually manage to get up to 99 hits on this block, you can essentially double your coin count. Now, there's no reason for me to do this, because I had to do a lot of leveling up to get the Bros to level 40 as it is. So I have a lot of coins. There's nothing in the game I can't afford and there's literally nothing I can really use these coins on anyway, so I didn't actually complete that, but that is something you can do if you do want to, you know, kind of double your coins and whatnot. So now that we kind of talked about that stuff, let's go ahead and talk about the Cholesteroad. Now, the Cholesteroad is basically the Mario and Luigi variant of the massage minigames that Bowser did earlier in the project. So this is where you can basically do some of the special attacks that the bros have, and actually test yourself to see how many times consecutively you can do those commands. And much like the Bowser variants, you can actually get some pretty interesting pieces of equipment for the bros if you do manage to get A ranks on all of these different minigames. So as you can see, we have Endless Mode and Jump Mode. Endless Mode, we have 5 differing special attacks. Jump Mode is actually the jump helmet, but I'll kind of go over that a little bit later. But the first one we have here is the green shell. So for this one, if you want to get a B rank, you need 100. If you want the A rank, you need to get 150. There's not really a lot I need to say about this one. It's basically just pressing A, then pressing B, then pressing A, then pressing B. The speed and tempo does get faster over time the more you kick the shell, so it does get harder. And, you know, you have to obviously focus on keeping up the continuous rhythm. But I don't think this one is too hard. At least it kind of goes very fast, and you're kind of already starting to go at a pretty fast speed once you get to around 50 anyway. So again, it's just a matter of fortitude and timing. At some point, once you get a rhythm for it, you should be able to do it. I wouldn't say it's really, like, too difficult, but much like all the Bowser minigames, they can be tricky in their own right as well, especially if you just don't really have the patience and the relaxing nature to kind of, you know, just focus on just doing the A and B inputs when you need to. But yeah, that's pretty much what this first one is, just kicking the shell back and forth. Now, like the Bowser minigames, not all of the special attacks will be utilized here, but some of the ones that kind of have the ability to kind of do them for an endless amount of time, that's basically the ones that they did pick for this. So you're not going to see like the fireballs or anything like that in here. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. We got the A rank. I went ahead and failed because I didn't want to do it anymore. And when we do that, you get some coins, and you also get the challenge medal. And I'll talk about these special pieces of equipment later on. I'm going to go ahead and get right to the next one. So next we're going to do the Yu-Wu Cannon. And if you remember, the Yu-Wu Cannon was one of my more favorite abilities to use in this game. Like just the normal game. And honestly, I wouldn't say this one is too hard, but it can get deceptively difficult over time, I'd say. Because it's not so much that you really have less time to press the A and B inputs, it's more so you have less time to see which barrels have which bros. And that's the part that can get kind of tricky because, like, you can literally only see them for like a split second when you get to some of the later rounds of this. But really, the kind of trick for this one is just being able to just divide the barrels up and try to figure out, like, okay, let me memorize which bro is in what barrels and try to focus on the easier layouts, and then, like, you know, just press that button whenever they pick that barrel, and then just press the other button when they don't. Like for this one right here, you could easily split this one half and half, where the top half was Mario and the lower half was Luigi. Let's see, for this one, I focused on Mario because all of the Marios were together. So I just focused on those, like, kind of 4 barrels that were in the middle, and just pressed the Mario button. When I didn't pick one of those barrels, it's like, okay, well, that's Luigi. For this one, once again, that was basically top half and bottom half. And that's essentially how you want to do this one. It can be hard. I'd say that the shells are probably easier than this one, even though I personally like this special move more than the shells. But in order to get the high score that you need, you do have to spend a lot of time doing this. And I already forgot what the max number was. Wasn't it like 120 or something? I think it was 120. I think it's like you had to get like 100 and then, or maybe 80 and then 120. we'll see what the number was, obviously, when we get it. But, yeah, this one does get pretty hard the further you get into it. I mean, that's kind of the case with all of them, I guess you could say, but still. So, yeah, there's the B rank at 80. Maybe it was just 100. If it is just 100, that's not too bad, but, yeah. This was a fun one to try to master, if I'm being honest. But yeah, as you can see, like, the bros are just barely on there now that we're, like, this far into this minigame. So, it does get pretty challenging. It does get pretty challenging. And there, I just got kind of lucky in noticing that, okay, well, Mario's in those 4 barrels in the kind of the middle there. So, okay, no, it is higher than that. Okay, it looks like it is 120. Still though, had to really, really focus to optimize this one properly. I think I ultimately estimated that I needed to do like a full version of this 15 times in order to get it, because... Yeah, 15 times, because 10 times 8 is 80, and then obviously half of that is 40, so yeah, 15, so... There we go, we beat that minigame, and we also get some coins and the Bro Socks. Once again, I'll talk about those pieces of equipment once we finish all of the other minigames. The next one we have is Super Bouncer, and this was one that I was not looking forward to. You don't have to do this one for very long. 30 is the highest you have to go for this one, which 30 is not too bad. The problem with this one is, you know, sometimes you don't have to really move Luigi at all, but other times you will have to move Luigi because he is kind of rolling fast around that ball. And it can be kind of hard to get the timing down since you're obviously trying to focus on when to press the B button when he lands, but you also need to move him and make sure that, you have to kind of make sure that Luigi's at least on the top half of the ball when he lands. Otherwise, it's not going to work, and there were many times where he was kind of like at the halfway point and that wasn't good enough, and I ended up failing the minigame probably like in the 20s or something, and that got really, really frustrating. I'd say this is definitely one of the harder ones to do, but I wouldn't say it's like the hardest. The hardest we'll definitely be doing shortly. I don't think it's the next one, but the one after is definitely the hardest one. But I'll get into that one when we get to it, obviously. But yeah, when you get around to this point, it's just about getting a feel for like spinning the ball around, because obviously sometimes Luigi will be rolling around pretty fast, and you have to kind of not just slow him down, but also make sure you slow him down and get him to the top of the ball. And that's where the big challenge of mastering this special attack is. But it is definitely a very rewarding special attack when you do get it going properly. It does some pretty decent damage overall. But here we go, we get this one, and... done. I thought it was funny letting Luigi go back like that. So for this one, we get some more coins and the Dizzy Boots. And as usual, we'll talk about the piece of equipment after the fact. Next up, we have what I think is the easiest one to do. This is the Spin Pipe. Spin Pipe, I think, is very, very easy to manage. You only have to get 30 as well, which is not too much. And yeah, it's just memorizing, like, which pipe the bro is in. And I honestly don't think it's that hard to do. All you need to do is just focus on whatever bro lands first. Focus on where that bro is. If he's on the bottom on the next one, just press the button again. If he's on the top, press the other button. Then you focus on that bro, do the same thing, and just, you know, just kind of keep your eye on what bro you used last. So it's like, okay, Luigi landed. Let me follow this, Okay, it's Luigi again. Follow it again. Up, Mario. Yep, and that's basically what it is. That's all it is. It's just a matter of, like, you know, focusing on one bro, and, you know, if he keeps landing on the bottom, it's going to be that bro. If it's not, it's going to be the other one. There's only 2 button inputs. You don't have to memorize, like, it's not like a 4-person pipe or anything. Which, that would have been an interesting, like, variation for, like, I guess, Partners in Time, if there was a special move like that. I actually don't remember. I've kind of written Partners in Time off, because I was just, like, wanted to get back to playing this again. Not that I hate Partners in Time, I just think that this game is a much better version of the Mario and Luigi formula, I think. But Partners in Time was fine for what it is. I just love this game way, way more than Partners in Time. But yeah, this minigame, pretty simple. I think it's the easiest one. I think even in my practice file, this was the only one I did. Fun fact, I didn't actually complete all of these in my practice file. I was like, I'll just do it in the playthrough. I won't worry about doing it now, because I didn't want to, like, stress myself over it. I'll let future me deal with it, and... Yeah, honestly, these minigames, like, I was really... Whenever I had, like, a failed take of one of these minigames, I, you know, got kind of discouraged, or it's like, oh god, I should have practiced these. But in reality, I feel like these didn't take me as long, or if they did, took just as long as the Bowser ones did, so... I don't feel like I really spent too much time on these minigames anyway, and trying to optimize them. And you're probably wondering, the reason why I kept going with that is because I wanted to see how much I could use that same bro there. But we get the advice patch and more coins. And that will do it for that one. And now we have what I think is the hardest one of these minigames. We have the magic window, and... The magic window is very, very difficult. I had trouble with using this just in the playthrough when I wanted to show this off. And as far as tricks for this, because you have to go for a lot of jumps too. This is a very long minigame, so you'll be doing this for a very long time as it is. But here's the thing. I tried to keep my eye on, well, first of all, I focus on the bottom screen for a little bit, do the first couple of jumps with them, and then when I see some bros on the top screen, I just focus on the top screen. Because the interesting thing is, I've noticed that the bros actually land faster when they come from the top screen. So essentially, when you're watching just the top screen, as soon as you see what bro's coming out of the window, you just kind of press that button and you'll get the timing. However, if a bro doesn't appear on the top screen and if it's on the bottom screen, the jump's a little slower, so you have time to kind of look down a little bit, see the bro you need to hit, and then press it. Because not only do you have to press the right button, you also have to kind of time it with the jump, and that can actually be a little difficult. So when you're kind of just like simplifying it down to a science, it's like, okay, well, they land faster on the top screen, so I need to focus more on that. And then when they're on the bottom screen, I know that I have a little bit more time to actually press the button. And that's kind of how I basically simplified this down to a science to actually do this properly. It was still hard, and this still took me a lot of attempts, but I was actually surprised at how fast I got this going. And before I knew it, I actually got the final score pretty easily and quickly, and that really... I was really floored when I got the final score, because this one was really worrying me for a while, because I think it would... I was concerned that it was going to be taking me, like, a lot longer than as long as it did. I think this one only took me, like, 20 minutes to get properly. And there it is. Once you get 120, you get the A rank, and you get another piece of equipment, which is the Siphon Gloves. And that's actually it for the endless mode. So now we're going to move on to the jump mode, which... The jump mode, like I said before, it's just the jump helmet, but there is like a slightly different variation for this. This one's about how far you can take Mario in this little course, and you basically move him, you know, with the jump helmet. And that's basically what this is. So I think you need to get like, I think it was like 60, so you have to go through like 60 of these lines. And while you're jumping through these, there will be like some clocks in the sky that'll give you some extra time. And basically your run ends if Mario ever hits the ground, or if you run out of time. So you have to be kind of careful with not just getting the time clocks as you're going through this, but also avoiding all of the negative time clocks as well, which is actually pretty difficult. But The only thing I can really suggest for this is just try to get as many time clocks as you can. And at some point in the course, you'll actually get clocks that freeze time. And definitely take advantage of those as well. And, you know, just try to get a feel for how Mario jumps whenever you press the button and where he lands on the helmets. And you can kind of time it so you can get, like, you know, maybe some clocks that are higher in the sky. Or even jumping over a negative time clock if you can. Or moving Mario a little bit further under another one if you're trying to go under it. Because the more forward that he is on the trampoline when he's jumping off of it, the more horizontal distance he'll go, and the further he is back, the more, like, vertical he'll be. Like, the more vertical his jump will be, rather. But yeah, this one's not too hard. You can get kind of unlucky with the time clocks sometimes, which is why I don't think this is as easy as the spin pipe is, but it's still not too bad. I'd say this is probably the second easiest of the mini games to optimize, at least in my opinion. But this one was a fun one to do. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the Cholesteroad. I still have to go over the pieces of equipment, but yeah, overall I was actually pretty happy with my performance here. I wouldn't say that, like, you know, obviously not all of them were first tries. I think the only first try was actually the spin pipe, believe it or not, but still. Most of them, like, took less than 5 tries. I consider that a victory. I definitely consider that a victory. But yeah, it was actually funny. When I was doing the spin pipe earlier, once I finished that one, I was like, okay, Luigi was the last one that was that came out of the spin pipe. Let me see how many times that I can, like, keep this going with Luigi being in the bottom. And sure enough, he, like, appeared in, like, the next 5 ones. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool that he appeared, like, 5 times in a row. But yeah, that's all that was. Just to explain why I kept going after I finished that one. Not that I needed to explain that, but still, for people wondering why I didn't just stop right there. But yeah, the Cholesteroad does give you some very interesting pieces of equipment. Stuff that's very unique in this game. You can only get these pieces of equipment at this location. So obviously you know that, okay, well, since you can only get them here, you're only going to get one of these. You can't even, like, find 2 versions of the same equipment and equip both bros with them, so you have to kind of consider that when you're doing this. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Just got, there we go, we got our A rank. Luigi then made Mario drop. And there we go, we get the Daredevil boots. And then since we got A ranks with everybody, we also get the Masterwear. So you also get some equipment for doing all of the challenges and getting A rank too. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got now, because we got some really, really cool things here. So first up, we have the Masterwear, which increases the power of your special attacks by 25%. And it also increases your SP as well, isn't that right? Then you have the Bro Socks, which doubles defense when you're holding a KO'd brother. Then you have the Siphon Gloves, which the Siphon Gloves will basically restore 10 SP whenever you use a solo hammer ability. Then you have the Dizzy Boots, which on a solo jump attack, enemies may become dizzy. So that's a pretty cool thing you can use as well. Then you have the Daredevil Boots, which doubles your attack power, but any hit from an enemy will instantly KO you, so you really, really have to look out for that. Then there is the Advice Patch, which the Advice Patch is actually pretty interesting. But basically it boosts a random special attack power by 30%. And basically you go to your attacking menu during a battle and you'll see one ability that's highlighted. Basically that ability will actually give power boosted if you use it in the battle. So that's a pretty unique piece of equipment. I may actually use that a bit in the next few videos as well. And then you have the Challenge Medal, which all enemies, including the ones in Bowser fights, have HP, defense, speed increased by 50% and power increased by 150%. But the coins you get from that battle will increase by 50% as well. So it's basically making the enemies a lot harder for a bigger coin bonus, which I don't think we actually need that anymore, if I'm being honest. But that is essentially something you can use if you're, really wanting to, experiment and see if you can get some extra coins from fighting some tougher enemies. But basically, that's all the pieces of equipment you can get, so that's all I'm going to really talk about. And with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and end this video. And it's also worth mentioning that some of the prizes, as well as some of the requirements for getting all the ranks for the Cholesteroad, they do actually differ a bit in the 3DS version of the game. I'm not going to go over every single difference or specific, but I did want to at least highlight that. And who knows, there may be a time in the future where I decide to play that game or, do some kind of like stream playthrough of that game. So obviously I'll save that for that playthrough when I get to it. But yeah, that's basically it for the Cholesteroad, which means that is going to do it for this first extra video. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And next time, I'm actually going to go ahead and start the second part of the challenge node that I wanted to showcase to you guys. I want to showcase the boss battle gauntlet. So the next two videos are going to be dedicated to that. A lot of people have been looking forward to this, and it should be pretty interesting, especially the video on Friday. But yeah, this has been SlimKirby. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the boss gauntlet. See you guys then. Later, folks.